welcome back to another English lesson. I am still at my hotel. Maybe you saw the last English lesson where I was walking around the day before my flight left. Well, this is the day my flight leaves. Luckily, it doesn't leave for quite a few hours, but the weather has changed quite a bit. So my wife forgot a hairbrush. She's working out right now, but I'm going to go over to the pharmacy and grab a travel hairbrush. I'll show you what that looks like. But just yesterday I was walking along this path. Can't do that today. I have on sneakers, dad shoes, I call them, because pretty much dads only wear these type of shoes. Look at this. I'm not even trying to go down there. There are ducks down there though. Yeah, and I really don't want my shoes to be all wet on the plane. Maybe too late for that. But it was really dry in my hotel room last night, so I'm hoping we don't leave for another 4 hours. Maybe I can, put those shoes in the room and they will dry out. How about that for an English phrasal verb? Dry out. Yeah. Just not fun out here. I'll show you the pharmacy. It's right next door. I'll show you the pharmacy when I get there. If I can find a path that isn't too snowy. Luckily, this has been shoveled, but I don't think Walgreens, the pharmacy, has been. Yeah, look at this. Ugh, this is gross. Luckily, it does look like it opened, but it has not been plowed yet. I don't know what that bus is for either. I don't know if that is an airport shuttle. Do you know that word in English, shuttle? It's like a vehicle, sometimes a bus, maybe a large van that will take people from their hotel to the airport. We are going to park at another airport. Sorry, we are going to park at another hotel and use their shuttle. I think it's $19 to park. Valentine's Day was just a couple days ago, and they're having a sale on everything that is Valentine's Day related. 50% off. They didn't have a travel section, but nice small little hairbrush. Whoa, it's really raining out now. $7, so not too bad. Hey, I do actually now need a hairbrush now that I have more hair. If you watch some of my older videos, I didn't have as much hair until I had a hair transplant. If you want more information about those guys, oh my gosh, this is bad. About those guys, they are great. There's a link in the description, Cab Health. How do I get back here? I think, oh yeah, now we're on a good path that has been shoveled. I don't have to worry about slipping. The next time you see me, hopefully I'll be a little drier, and I think I will be at the airport. Logan Airport, it's called in Boston. All right, we're here at the airport. I think we're the first ones here. We are about 3 hours early, I guess, a little more than 3 hours early. It's 3:10 and we're not leaving until 6:45, but we had to get a shuttle here to the airport. They run one every half hour, so sounds like there's some announcement going on now, but luckily I'm trying to find a board with all the flights. A lot of them are delayed or they've been canceled, which means they're not happening. You have to take another flight, and so far ours is on time. Let's hope it stays that way. The snow has turned to rain. So definitely not nice weather here in Boston, but luckily I looked at the weather forecast for Paris and it looks beautiful all week.
What's going on, everyone? I'm in Paris, in front of Notre Dame, and the bells are ringing. Yeah, we just got here maybe an hour ago. We checked into our Airbnb. I'll show you that a little later. But the crowd is pretty big right now. So I think we are going to come back either a little later today or a little earlier tomorrow. I heard that if you come before 9 o'clock in the morning, it's not too bad. But this just opened a couple months ago. I'm filming this in February of 2025. You may know there was a big fire at Notre Dame in 2019, so it's been closed for about 5 years.
As we walk around Notre Dame, let's talk about some facts. This building is very old. Construction began in the year 1163, and it took almost 200 years to finish. This church also has something called gargoyles. They are strange-looking creatures. I will put up a picture. But they're not just decorations. They actually help the rainwater drain so it doesn't damage the church. The church also keeps special religious items, including what some believe is the crown of thorns that Jesus wore. In the 1800s, Notre Dame was falling apart. But after Victor Hugo wrote a book called The Hunchback of Notre Dame, people wanted to fix it. So basically, this book saved this church. Maybe you have heard of this famous French leader named Napoleon Bonaparte. Well, he became emperor in Notre Dame in 1804. He invited the Pope to Paris. Some people say he kidnapped the Pope, but either way, the Pope was in Paris for this coronation, and instead of the Pope putting the crown on Napoleon's head, Napoleon took the crown and put it on his own head. We'll see a painting of this when we visit the Louvre. And if you would like to have an extra special prayer for someone, you can pay some money and light a candle for them. We heard those bells ringing earlier, and the biggest bell in Notre Dame actually has a name. Its name is Emmanuel, and it weighs as much as 3 elephants, and it rings on important days like holidays. About 12 million tourists visit Notre Dame each year, and it has been closed for the last 5 years, so I feel very lucky to be able to visit.
Later.
It's a little different today, huh? We're here pretty early in the morning. It's about 9 o'clock, and we just toured Notre Dame. And now we are going to be heading to the Eiffel Tower. I would like to tell you a little bit about this statue right here. It is a statue of Charlemagne. It's kind of like the first Holy Roman Emperor. Some people call him like the father of Europe. He kind of united this area. Well, this statue is made of bronze. There aren't a lot of bronze statues left in Paris during World War II. A lot of the bronze was melted down Good English phrasal verb there, melted down for weapons. Okay, from here at Notre Dame, we are going to find the metro and head over to the Eiffel Tower. We signed up for a tour of the Eiffel Tower. It's right there. We will be going to the top in just a minute, but we signed up for an English-speaking tour. Our tour guide is just up there. There's no line right now. This is February. We probably didn't need this tour. We could have just walked up and bought the tickets ourselves, but hopefully with a tour guide in English, we'll learn a little bit more about the history of the Eiffel Tower. We just went through one security check where we had to empty all our pockets, and now we're going through a second security check. And guess what? It's pretty cold here, just above freezing. I think it's like 34 degrees Fahrenheit. There are elevators here, but the first part no, there's an elevator there, but I guess on our tour, we're taking the steps first. And there is encouragement. It said it took about 2 years to complete the Eiffel Tower. You can do it. They keep pushing you on to go up the stairs. But you do get a nice view on the way up. There's some more encouragement right there. Keep up the pace. How about this term, huffing and puffing? There are a lot of people huffing and puffing up here, and that means you're breathing heavily. And my quads are burning. Those are your quads, those muscles in your thighs. Oh, we're almost at the first floor. I guess 6 million people visit the Eiffel Tower each year. You're all red in the face. If you're red in the face, probably because you've been working hard, maybe working out, sweating. Oh, we're here. First floor. That's our tour guide. She said we're heading inside right now. Probably be a little warmer in there. We got a glass floor here.
Oh my God, I feel so weird.
Come on. Did you want to see what a bathroom looks like in the Eiffel Tower? We are on the first floor, and no complaints. Like, very clean, and it is very hard, or at least I have found it very hard to find a bathroom in Paris. So when you see one, use it. And guess what? They have free Wi-Fi at the Eiffel Tower. One reason I think the toilets were so clean at the Eiffel Tower was that there are 2 women standing or sitting outside of the bathroom. I think they are what we call attendants. Every so often they will go in and clean, so 10 out of 10 for the bathrooms at the Eiffel Tower. They do have a souvenir shop. I'm sure the prices are horrible. I'm sure they're very expensive. Let's see. We call this a snow globe. 13 euro. Not too bad, I don't think. A little statue for 18 euro. Puzzle. And across the hall there is a bistro And I saw the prices earlier. Not too bad. Oh, what is this? Collector cups, maybe? For customers only.
Yes. Okay. 20 years. 10, 20, 4, 5. Okay. So it took 2 years. 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days.
The prices are not that bad. Luckily, it is in English. But I thought they could charge a lot more if they wanted to. Oh, you can buy alcohol here? I think at the top, the very top, you can get champagne, a small glass of champagne, and it's 30 euro. So 60 euro for Jamie and I to have champagne at the top of the tower. We don't even like champagne, so we will not be splurging on that. Splurging means you spend extra money just to have like something enjoyable. We're not going to splurge on champagne. Nice view of Paris there. Please let me know in the comments, are you scared of heights? Would this height scare you? And this is only the first floor. We have 2 more floors to go up.
So here we're going to speak about the history of the tower, what is happening right now at the Eiffel Tower, and another thing.
We are on the 2nd floor right now, just waiting to get an elevator to the top, but another nice view of Paris up here. A little bit of a line for the elevator. We're getting close. I hear a lot of Italian, a lot of French. There are some folks from Ireland and England and Scotland, but haven't seen any other Americans here yet. As this elevator starts going up, I actually get pretty scared. I'm not usually scared when I'm in elevators, but we were a little squished in here, and we just kept going up and up and up. At the end of the elevator ride, you will see there is like a little countdown clock to let you know how much time you had left on the elevator, and that really made me feel a little better, but I was having a little anxiety as we were getting higher and higher. Couple facts while this elevator is going up. The Eiffel Tower was only supposed to be there for a short period of time. It was built in 1889. We will see a sign about that a little later. And it was supposed to only be up for 20 years, but people loved it, and so the tower has stayed ever since. The Eiffel Tower was the world's tallest building at one time, from 1889 to 1930. Did you know that the Eiffel Tower grows and shrinks? In the summer, because it is warmer, it can grow up to 6 inches or 15 centimeters taller. The Eiffel Tower also changes color. It has been repainted 19 times. And stay tuned because I will tell you the color that it's rumored to be when it's repainted in 2030.
Venez là. Venez là. Go ahead.
Merci. It looks like you can go even higher. I'm not gonna lie, that elevator was a little scary. We might use the term bird's eye view. You have a bird's eye view of everything here in Paris. It's like a little fog or a little smog. It's hard to see in the distance. And I guess Gustave Eiffel has a office up here. The guy who built the Eiffel Tower or designed it. Obviously, he's no longer with us, but maybe this is his office in here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Get a better look on the other side, probably. Oh, when I said earlier he's no longer with us, it's just a nice way in English to say he died. He died a long time ago. There might be quite a reflection from the glass, but there's a statue of him in there. Looks like he's talking with somebody. Oh, looks like his daughter Claire, I guess. So he had a small apartment up here. And just in case you didn't know, the Eiffel Tower was built for the World Exposition in 1889. And good news, there are bathrooms, or at least one bathroom, all the way at the top of the Eiffel Tower. And there's the window where you can get the champagne, 70 euro for 2 cups of champagne and some caviar. We're gonna skip it today. Just met some Americans back there. The only ones we've met so far. They were from Queens, New York City. Okay, that's it for the top of the Eiffel Tower. I don't know where I'll see you next, but it'll be somewhere in France. Tomorrow we have a tour of the Louvre. And also, no, fine, thank you. And also the Arc de Triomphe. And we have a riverboat cruise on the Seine. So I'll see you at one of those places. Hang on, before we leave the tower, another view up there. Some people laughing a lot behind me. But I do want to talk about 2 things. One, security. So you have to go through security to enter this area. It looks like there's some bulletproof glass. It does look like there are some silver pillars just beyond the glass. So you couldn't have some kind of car come and attack the Eiffel Tower. Because let's face it, if you do want to attack France, what is more symbolic? What's a bigger symbol of France than the Eiffel Tower? So security is pretty tight here. Also, on the tour, I learned that the Eiffel Tower will get repainted again in 2030. I think she said it's repainted every 7 years. And the rumor is for the 150th celebration of the French Revolution, the tower will go back to being red. So that is maybe something we can look forward to in about 5 years. One last thing about painting the Eiffel Tower that you might find interesting, I did, is that there are only 25 young men who are able to paint the Eiffel Tower, and they dab the paint on it. I'll show you what dabbing looks like. Not swiping, they will dab it. And so these 25 men will dab. Only 25 people can paint this entire tower. Like I said, every 7 years. And they're only paid minimum wage. And minimum wage in France is 8 euros an hour. And you might ask, why would anybody want to do that? And it takes 3 years for them to paint that. And what they can do after they finish their job painting, they can work for like UNESCO heritage sites. For example, one young man who painted the Eiffel Tower the last time is now working on the Taj Mahal, doing, we would call it restoration, like fixing it up, making it better there. And he's earning about 50 euro at the Taj Mahal. So it's like, we would call it an apprenticeship. in English. Like, it's a job you do where you don't get paid that much for a short period of time, but you have the opportunity to earn more money in the future. Now, off to somewhere else. What is going on? We are at a market. It is Paris's oldest covered market. It's very French, so I'm going to try my best to say it, but it's Marché des Enfants Rouges, which stands for like the red children. Let's go through here. A lot of partying going on here. 1650 is where this place started. 1650, I should say, when this place started. But it's like a little market. You probably can't hear me because a lot of people are drinking wine. But you can get fresh fruits and vegetables here. But there are also some markets that sell like Italian food or Moroccan food, which is what Jamie and I got. Moroccan food, Moroccan tea. If anybody is watching from Morocco, great food and tea in Morocco. We didn't realize that you have to pour the tea from up high to make it frothy, but it was good though. Oh, the Lebanese flag, if anybody is from Lebanon. Yeah, so there was a, we might call them stalls, like little places where you can get food. There was a Japanese stall. Oh, of course, an Italian stall. Did I say why this is called Red Children? It's because of an orphanage that was nearby here. An orphanage in English is where children live who don't have homes, who don't have parents, I should say. They don't have parents. Those are, man, why can't I talk right now? I did not have any alcohol like those other people did. They don't have any parents for some reason. Let's get a look at the Marché des Enfants Rouges. I think I'm saying that okay. But yeah, it was a nice little dinner. Highly recommended if you want to get some different foods from places that are not French. So, a good time. It's a nice little garden right next to that market I just showed you. I'm not sure if you can still hear those guys that are partying over there. But I see this in every park. It's like, stop the rats. I don't know enough French to exactly know what's going on here, but, well, that you don't have to know French for. You cannot bring dogs in here, but, oh, and you can't smoke either. But for some reason, these little parks always have a sign that say, stop the rats. Oh, this is locked. Oh, it looks like a little garden though. Like, this is the American style of garden. Should we talk about that? A garden in the United States is a place where you grow vegetables. But in England, still English, a garden is like this, where kids might play, or there might be a lot of green plants. We would probably call this a park in the United States. But I think in British English, this would be called a garden, which is... that is French for garden. Hey, we're just at a park here in Paris, walking on the street, and we just came across this tower. Amazing tower. Apparently, there was an entire church here, but during the French Revolution, it was destroyed, and it's only this part that remains. At the top, you can see some things jutting out. That might be a new English phrasal verb for you, but they're coming out of the tower. In English, we call those things gargoyles. I think it's pretty much the same in French. They serve no purpose. They're just for decoration. The gargoyles at Notre Dame, they actually make the rain go away from the church. Here, just for decoration. But in the little bit of research that I did on this tower, it was for one of Jesus's apostles. If you believe in that, I don't know, but that's why they built it. It was for a guy named James. So very close to Jesus. There is a statue. I think in French, his name is Saint-Jacques, but it's James. But beautiful tower, very decorative. You can definitely tell they spent a lot of time building this. And it's in this public park in Paris. And to be honest, you know, there might be one guy who doesn't have a home. He's sleeping on that bench over there. I'm not going to put him on camera. But as I've said in other videos, here in Paris, it's so clean, shockingly clean. They have public restrooms here. I just used the bathroom. I was a little worried because in another English lesson I did in New York at a public park, there were bathrooms there. And when you go inside, I hate to say this, but there were a lot of people like doing drugs in there. This public restroom in a public park was super clean. It's awesome. And they might be, looks like there are some workers from the city of Paris, and they actually, no, maybe the police. And I was thinking that there's a gate so you can't get into the tower, but it might be a good place if you don't have a home, that people might try to sleep in there at night. So it looks like that could, I don't want to get too close to those officials. They might not like me filming them, but they might have gotten a call that somebody was sleeping in there. It looks like they opened the gate and went in, and they came out with nobody. So if there was a call for somebody sleeping in there or hanging out, they didn't bring anybody out with them. But there is a padlock. Apparently, there are tours of this, and you can walk the steps to the top, but it only happens in the summer, and we are visiting here kind of in the late winter. So no tours available for us, unfortunately, but there is a sign when you walk in about rats. So, and we did see a rat trap over here. Maybe I can show you. I think it's right over here. There you go, a rat trap, but I haven't seen any rats. But both Jamie and I kind of go in early to our Airbnb. I think the latest we've been out has been 9 o'clock, so maybe they come out only at night.
So for this cruise, we're going to start by going directly towards the Eiffel Tower, and then we're going to come back here, go around the two main islands of the city, and then head on cruise. Alors, je pense que maintenant on est tout bon, on va pouvoir commencer. So I think that we're good now and we can start. Alors, je vous invite à regarder sur votre droite. So I'll invite you to look on your right. Donc le bâtiment immense que vous voyez, c'est le plus grand monument de Paris, le plus grand musée du monde et le musée le plus visité au monde. And it used to be a military fortress. Sauf que cette forteresse, elle est vite devenue inutile parce que Paris au XIIe siècle, ça s'est étendu très très. So that bridge was originally created as a symbol of friendship between France and Russia. Donc au centre en doré, vous pouvez voir l'emblème de la ville de Saint-Pétersbourg. So at the center in gold, you can notice the emblem of the city of St. Petersburg. Et les deux nymphes qui l'entourent, elles représentent la Neva, qui est une rivière en Russie. And the two nymphs that surround it, they represent the river Neva in Russia. And those 100 years in France were a great era of political instabilities. Alors, sur ces 100 ans, on a eu 2 empires, 3 monarchies constitutionnelles, 2 républiques, entre-temps 3 révolutions.
We are inside the Arc de Triomphe, and guess what? This place has stairs too, so lots of stairs to get to the top. But the reason we're here is to try to see the Eiffel Tower all lit up. Okay, I think we're halfway up the stairs. Jamie and I have been walking all day. I don't know if you have pedometers. That's what we call in English things that measure your feet or your steps, pedometers, but we have done 17,000 steps today. So I think Napoleon built this little middle space just for the out-of-shape Americans when they come to visit, which was super nice of him to do. Although, I didn't look at a lot of the history, but I think Napoleon wanted to start building the Arc de Triomphe, but they lost the war and it had to be finished like 30 years later, so But we're hoping to get up there within the next 15 minutes to see the Eiffel Tower all lit up. Oh, they have bathrooms here too. How convenient. It's like Napoleon knew of everything. Put a space to rest, use the bathroom if you need to. Very convenient. I didn't know he was so forward thinking, but what a guy. Look at this. I don't think I have ever taught this on the channel, but in English we call this a defibrillator. Defibrillator. In case somebody is having problems with their heart, you can use that machine to try to get them back to life. They probably had to put that in for the Americans too, the ones that are out of shape and eating too much McDonald's. All right, let's go. Second half, up we go. It was only like 1 flight of steps and we're already back up at some kind of museum thing. And of course, you have to have a souvenir shop, right? Got to try to get the tourists to buy some souvenirs, get their money if you can. I know enough French to know that the monument started in 1806. But, yeah, continue. That's almost like in English. With a dedicated new monument, right? So I think it was finally finished. 1836, King Louis Philippe finished it. Yeah, if you want to build a monument saying you won a war or won a battle, you should probably win the battle first, right? I feel cool air. I think we are close. Oh yeah, we're here. We have arrived. Let's go. Let's see what kind of view. Yeah, then watch your step. Watch your step. Let's see what kind of view we have over here. Oh, it's a pretty good one, I think. Maybe this is the boring side. Look at, even in France, they have a McDonald's. Oh yeah, that's the side we want. And to be honest, those steps weren't too bad. The ones at the Eiffel Tower were way worse. All right, let's try to get a good spot. We might have to push some people out of the way. Oh, Jamie's up there already. Nice. We came, we saw, we conquered the Eiffel Tower. the Arc de Triomphe. We have one more full day in Paris, and for that we are going to go to the Louvre, the museum that has the Mona Lisa. So that's it for tonight, and I'll see you in the morning. Last night, Jamie and I went here. This is called the Latin Quarter. It's all closed up, but last night this guy was really busy, and I guess he's famous on TikTok. I think I have a couple pictures to show you, but we ordered a couple crepes. You say in English, crepes? And one was filled with strawberries and sugar, and one was filled with some kind of meat and cheese, and they were delicious. So I don't know if they're the best in Paris, but guy is getting very famous on TikTok and had a super long line. And we could say that the Latin Quarter was hopping last night. It's another way to say it was busy. A lot of people were around. It's not true today. It's pretty quiet. But there is a supermarket here, which will be perfect to get some caffeine. I haven't talked too much about the Paris Metro, but it's super easy. You can get tickets here. I'll show you how in just a minute. There are usually people in a booth at the stop to help you if you have any questions, but it's super easy. If you want English, you just push English, touch there. At the airport, we got a pass. Let's see if I can get it out of my wallet here. There. You just place it here, and then it says if you want to get tickets, yep. Metro train, yep. Full fare, yeah, because I'm not a child or a senior. I'm not young, I'm not too old. Full fare, €2.50 for each trip. Put your card there, push that, validate, and then if I were going to, it made a little clicking sound, just put my card there, and then it will validate your ticket. Easy peasy. There are metro stops just about everywhere in Paris, so you don't have to worry about walking too much most of the time. But Jamie and I have been taking the metro quite often. We have even been using Uber drivers, and still in the last 4 days we have walked over 50 miles. So bring your walking shoes if you are coming to Paris. Take a look. We're at the Louvre, and we have a tour. They gave me this little earpiece, so we'll always be able to hear our guide. She's talking right now, so I'll see you in a minute. We paid a little extra money so we wouldn't have to wait in line. Just go right in. Okay, we got to go through a security check. In English, we call this statue the Venus de Milo, and it is about 2,000 years old. Another very famous Greek statue in the Louvre is called the Winged Nike. It is also over 2,000 years old, and it inspired the name for the famous shoe company called Nike. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun at the Louvre, but I don't really like the crowds, and I think we went at a time of year where there weren't too many crowds. I think it's busier in the summer, but even here in February, it was just a little bit too busy for me. Luckily, I had fun, and I would definitely do it again, but I would not like to go when it is at its busiest. And by far, the busiest place in the Louvre is the room where the Mona Lisa is kept. That's what we call it in English, the Mona Lisa. It was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. He is an Italian artist, so some people wonder, why is this painting in France? And here we are at Sacre-Coeur.
Головне, що у нас буде evidence того.
It's raining a bit outside. The first rain we've had in Paris all week. I'm not complaining, but we are going up to the dome of Sacre-Coeur. I think I'm saying that in French, but Sacred Heart in English. And guess what? We have more steps. So if you have never been to Paris and you want to do a lot of sightseeing, just know you are going to be walking up a lot of steps. And it's a very narrow staircase. We might also call it a spiral staircase because it's like a circle. And luckily, they tell you in a couple different languages how many more steps you have. The muscles where your butt is, we call those the glutes in English. My glutes are killing me. My quads, I think I talked about that already. That's the muscles in the front of your legs, the top, or your thighs. Those were already killing me. Now my glutes are burning. But hey, if you want the best view in Paris, you have to work for it. I think I mentioned this at the Eiffel Tower, but some say the best view of Paris is not at the top of the Eiffel Tower because you can't see the Eiffel Tower in that view. We're not quite there yet, but I think they give you like a little break here. And there are some puddles forming, so. At least I can see the dome now. Oh yeah, these stairs are slippery. You need to watch your step. Doesn't look like we can go that way. Oh gosh, it's not over yet. 93 steps to get there. I'm not very good at math, but I think that means we're about halfway there. Oh wait, were there 300 steps to begin with? So I guess we are 2/3 of the way there. Ooh, this is narrow. Not built for larger Americans. It gets even more narrow. My shoulders are pretty much touching both sides of the staircase. I'm glad I'm doing this now, still in my 40s, because I don't know if I would be able to do this later on in life. Very, very narrow. All right, we got this, 8 steps left. Okay, this is one of the last things we are doing in Paris. I'm going to try to find Jamie. She is up here somewhere, and maybe we'll do a little interview, see what her favorite parts of Paris were. One thing, I found Jamie, one thing before we interview her, it does cost €8 to get up here, which might be a good thing because it isn't crowded at all. Very few people up here. Maybe the 300 stairs are intimidating too. I'm not sure, but either way, we have the place almost to ourselves. So there is the Eiffel Tower in the distance, and I have Jamie here. Since our tour of Paris is coming to an end, I have a couple questions for you. I guess the obvious question, what has been your favorite part?
Wow, that's so tough. I'm definitely going to say the Eiffel Tower, learning about the history, going to the top. That was cool. Actually, I think probably the Sacred Heart Church was my favorite so far. There's a lot of history there too. They have done an excellent job of explaining all of the altars, the mosaics, the statues. Just very peaceful, and I like learning about all the history of the church and the Catholic religion there.
What did you think about the people of France?
Oh, super nice. I had been warned by quite a few people that for some reason Parisians didn't like Americans, but that has been so far from the truth. Everybody, our Uber drivers have been so nice, giving us excellent information. We just had empanadas, and the owner there was super gracious and so nice speaking with us. We met a follower that was super nice.
Sang, shout out to Sang.
Yeah, so I have to say everybody has been so kind and hospitable.
Yeah, and I wonder, when we were growing up, I think when Americans would come to France, it was not great that no Americans could speak English. I think now this generation thinks that, well, English is kind of the new way. Like most of the tourists, if they don't speak French, they'll speak English, either as a first or second language. So I found that a lot of people just like practicing their English with us.
Yes.
A couple people have said that because we start off speaking very bad French, they quickly change to English with us, and at the end of the conversation, some people have said, oh, it's good for me to practice.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. No, I love it here. We've done a lot in the time we've been here, a lot. You did a great job planning it.
Oh, thank you.
If you watch this video, you should do all the things that we did. It was super simple. I highly suggest if you can take a tour, do a tour at different places that we've gone to, because that has been so beneficial to learn about the things, getting ahead of the line, getting in quicker.
So it does cost a little extra money. I realize, if you can't afford it, But yeah, sometimes it's okay to splurge if you can, because it gives you a little more time for more things. Like Jamie said, skipping the line, so maybe you can squeeze in 2, 3, 4 activities instead of just 1 or 2.
Yeah, we splurged on tours versus food, for example. So we had to compromise a little bit on those things. Like we've just been picking small places to eat that are not expensive, small snacks they call them here, small plates. So I would definitely, we're not super big foodies, so I would much rather spend the money on tours to learn about the city versus splurge on food. My personal opinion.
Yeah, but hey, you do you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I think it was kind of long. Not as much of an English lesson as more of like a travel vlog with some English here and there, but for both Jamie and I guess it's au revoir from Paris. See ya.